Now at 7, shots fired into a crowd in Kenosha leaves 2 people dead and another person hurt. We have live reports this morning from Kenosha with new information overnight from police.
Plus, we're hearing from the family of Jacob Blake after he was shot by Kenosha police. Their call for peace after another night of destruction.
You're watching the CBS 58 News at 7 on WMLW.
Thank you for joining us this morning. You're taking a live look right now at Kenosha following 3 nights of rioting that have now turned deadly. Today is Wednesday, August 26th. I'm Megan Reisted.
And I'm Mike Kirkhoff. Pauline Lee is live in Kenosha with the latest. We will get to her in just a moment, but first we want to get to our other big story of the day. Some extreme heat coming our way. Here's meteorologist Justin Thompson-Gee.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We do have some big-time heat on the way. Today, high temperatures will reach into the 90s. It's going to feel closer to 100, though. Hazy, hot, and humid today, and then we have a stormy sky. Thursday into Friday, it is going to turn a little bit stormier across southeast Wisconsin, but comfy temps do arrive for the weekend. We'll show you all the updated numbers coming up in Ready Weather.
Thank you, Justin. Breaking news out of Kenosha this morning. 2 people are dead and another is hurt after shots are fired during overnight unrest. This follows the police shooting of Jacob Blake on Sunday. Our Pauline Lee was live there the moment those shots were fired. She joins us live right now in Kenosha. Pauline, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we're on the corner of 63rd and Sheridan. At about 11:45 last night, several dozen gunshots rang out, sending the crowd of a couple hundred protesters running for safety. And this all, it ended with 2 people dead and 1 person hurt. So let's take you back to what led up to this tragic end on the 3rd day of unrest here in Kenosha. Police tried a different tactic last night for day 3 because they realized what they did on the 1st and 2nd day wasn't working. While all they were doing was standing in front of the courthouse, blocking it from protesters getting up to the courthouse. So this time, once curfew went into effect, they effectively went into the crowd and pushed all of the protesters out into Sheridan Road. They kept pushing them back, block by block, hoping that they would disperse on their own, and they used the tear gas, the rubber bullets to do that. But again, at about 11:45 last night, that's when all of those shots rang out, and it was just mere chaos in the streets. So we also heard from someone who was in the crowd as those shots rang out. Here's what he had to say.
I ran in and just started, fell down, and then the first shot rang out, and after that, I mean, there were so many people around that had guns that you assume that one shot's going to lead to more than one, or way more than one. It was insane. I've never, ever seen anything like that before in my life, and honest to God, I hope I never see it again, because it was definitely traumatic, to say the least.
It was definitely a terrifying situation to be there for. But again, 2 people dead, 1 person hurt. There is some graphic video circulating on social media. Kenosha Police is aware of it, and they do ask if anyone has information to call them. And we want to turn now to Andy Devine, who was also in Kenosha this morning, with more from Jacob Blake's family, whom we're hearing from for the first time. Andy.
Yeah, we are live here at the courthouse in Kenosha, downtown Kenosha, and this has been the site of many of the protests. If you take a look behind me, it is quiet here right now, but they do have security fencing, they have barricades surrounding blocks of the courthouse, and they have those garbage trucks here as well, just protecting the courthouse. Jacob Blake's family is asking for peace after nights of destruction and violence across the town. We've witnessed that. His mother says the damage caused by the rioters is not the justice they are seeking. Blake's family and attorneys say they are worried about his injuries. He had a severed spinal cord and is paralyzed, and the damage to his children, that's another thing that he's worried about following this shooting. Now, Blake's mother prayed for her son and said Kenosha and the country needs to heal and recognize each other's humanity.
How dare we hate what we are? We are humans.
The question is it touching the hearts of the people with the authority that we have legally given the right to use force?
Now, Blake had surgery yesterday, and the family says that he is going to have more surgeries because of his injuries. Again, he is paralyzed and has a severed spinal cord. That is what the family is telling us right now. For now, reporting live here in Kenosha, Andy Devine, CBS 58 News.
Meanwhile, the shooting of Jacob Blake is once again raising questions about police body cameras in Kenosha. Now, the city's police department currently doesn't have body cameras. The Associated Press reports leaders unanimously endorsed body cams more than 3 years ago, but have been putting them off. Kenosha Mayor John Antaramian blamed a former state law mandating how long body camera video needs to be stored. The longer video is held, the more expensive it could be to store it.
It's been in the budget for a while, and it's part of the issue had been in dealing with the state and getting the state to change the law on how long you have to hold the material. And so they did make that modification, which makes it so that it's financially affordable for communities to actually have the body cams.
That modification was signed into law earlier this year. Antaramian says the police department is expected to get body cameras 2 years from now. We asked if that could change after Blake's shooting. We'll let you know what we hear back.
The Kenosha Police Union is urging people to know the facts before passing judgment, saying in part, quote, "As always, the video currently circulating does not capture all the intricacies of a highly dynamic incident. As of now, the officers involved in the incident have been placed on leave. Their identities have not been released."
And day 3 of the Republican National Convention gets started today. Day 2 was headlined by the president's wife, Melania Trump, who gave her unfailing support to her husband.
I'm here because we need my husband to be our president and commander-in-chief for 4 more years. He is what is best for our country.
As for tonight, the theme is Land of Heroes and will feature a speech from Vice President Mike Pence. Then tomorrow, President Trump will deliver his acceptance speech as the Republican presidential nominee.
Much of day 2 of the RNC was designed to showcase the softer side of the president. The president was shown pardoning John Ponder, a convicted bank robber turned prisoners' rights activist. Ponder is the founder and CEO of Hope for Prisoners, Inc. He's been out of jail for more than a decade. Since then, he's been working to grow his charity, which helps former inmates re-enter society.
It's just an honor, and you have done incredible work.
Thank you, sir.
And all of Las Vegas and all of Nevada and all of every place in this country is very proud of you, the job you've done.
Ponder, who was a 3-time convicted felon, was granted pardons by the Nevada Board of Pardons for state crimes earlier this year. President Trump's action clears a federal bank robbery charge from his record.
Still ahead, we continue to follow breaking news out of Kenosha as the 3rd night of unrest turns deadly. What we know from police so far.
And we've had 61 days so far this summer that have been at or above 80, but today we're on record watch well into the 90s. We'll show you the highs and what it's going to feel like in Ready Weather.
Plus, families across southeast Wisconsin are preparing for an unprecedented school year. We'll talk with a Google Tech expert to learn about the latest education tools the tech giant has to offer. Time right now is 7:08. On your Wednesday morning, you're watching the CBS 58 Morning News.